The Hoffman Show on the Team 980. We are live as well on the free Odyssey app. And joining us now, one of the most enjoyable athletes to watch in DC, one of the best under 21 athletes on the planet. Trin, I only get to say that for like another 2 weeks before you actually are 21. From the Washington Spirit and the U.S. Women's National Team is Trinity Rodman. What's up, Trin? Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You are so welcome. So I want to talk about a bunch of different stuff here, but I want to start asking you a question about your game that I've had since I first started watching you play 3 years ago, which is how teams handle your speed. And it was really funny to me when you first got into the league because it seemed like everyone else didn't realize that like a human could run that fast. And all of a sudden you would pick off a ball and people would kind of give this look like, what is she doing there? And I'm curious, as you have continued in the league over the last couple of years, if teams have started to adjust and adapt and how you've changed and adapted your game to keep that as such an advantage that you have.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was an advantage my rookie year for sure, because no one had any idea, like, who is this girl? But yeah, I've definitely noticed there's been alterations to the way that defenders in the league defend me now. Like before, I feel like it was more like front foot, like on my butt, and I feel like now it's more like passive and it's like back foot, like ready for me to dribble, because I think obviously I love 1v1s. So
Yeah.
yeah, they've definitely, I don't want to say like backed off, but I think they've changed their stance a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think the other one too, where it comes into play a lot, is you as a defender. And especially as you guys this year have started to press so much more, where
Yeah.
teams are way more careful about where they put a pass because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, she might actually get there. Like the pace has to be right. You have to make sure, kind of an awareness. And Hatchie and obviously Sanchez have this as well because they're so fast. But I'm curious how that over this first month or so of the season has evolved too, as teams have seen what you guys are putting out there under Mark.
Yeah. Having the two front now, it's like almost more aggressive, like defending, especially like goal kicks. Like we are on the front foot, like ready to go. And I think, yeah, teams are more inclined to kind of play a quick bounce back for a long ball or just straight long. And I think we noticed that last game against Chicago, it was like they were playing short, and then the last
And
60
then they
minutes of
weren't.
the game, and then they weren't. They were playing long. So, I mean, obviously that's a compliment to Mark and the way that he's coached us. But yeah, I think it's definitely helped because then it's a 50-50 rather than them having time to dribble.
Trinity Rodman with us here on the Team 980. So there's a really funny TikTok / Instagram reel that I actually think I saw on your page for the first time. It's one's like, I'm alive, I'm dead, that one. And I feel like that is how you play sometimes at the end of games, where you're just like, I'm not, I can't run, and then you go and make some other sprint. Where does that come from? Whether is it like a desire thing? Is it just kind of a like a conscious choice at the end of game of how you expend your energy, but your ability to always seemingly be able to summon one more sprint when you need it?
Yeah, I don't think it's like my body can actually do it. I think it's more of like you're gonna do it type of thing. And I think, yeah, there's sprints where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm dying. And then the ball gets near me and I'm like, no, I'm not. Like it's like a like flip of a switch. But yeah, and I think I've tried to get better at like not switching off, more of like getting in the right position to then repress rather than just like taking my time walking back. It's more like getting in the position so then I can go again. But in terms of where it comes from, I have no idea because last game I was dying.
Yeah. About 78, 79 minutes every game, Trent, I feel like you're dying. But then somehow you come alive again.
Yeah.
As opposed to Ash, who's running around like a chicken with her head cut off for a full 90 minutes every game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's her thing. I'm curious. So flip the switch to the national team real quick and then come back to the Spirit. You guys obviously have a big one this weekend against San Diego. But you've been as part of so many junior national teams over the years. Now you're obviously in the mix and very likely, fingers crossed, going to the World Cup this summer as part of the senior national team. You've been in that environment for a couple of years now. What is the difference between that junior national team level and now being amongst the best of the best in that senior national team environment?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, a lot, but not at the same time. It's like we kind of learn the same things growing. I think it just gets more intense. It's like same principles, but the accountability, the consistency, the data, it's like you're learning so much and you're figuring out like where we need to improve, like in analytics. Like it's facts rather than just like kind of guessing. But I think the accountability is great with the national team. I think we hold each other to such a high standard. And I think principles as a team, like it's just there's an expectation and there's no going away from that. There's no straying, there's no turning off. It's on 24/7.
Yeah. Obviously, the injury to Mao was so devastating in so many ways, but there was only one person who actually had to then go on the field and replace her, and that happened to be you. So in that moment, where it's, I heard Becky on Ben and Blazers the other day talking about how players were in tears because the injury was a pretty nasty one. But how did you kind of process that moment as the person who had to go in and quite literally try to take her place, and also realizing that there's probably some larger ramifications for the summer and what it means for this World Cup and potentially your spot on the roster and role you might play in Australia and New Zealand?
Yeah, that was just whirl of emotions that day. I think she had got hit already in the beginning, and I had gotten up to warm up, and then it happened again. So I was kind of up warming up. But I don't know. In my head, I wasn't like, oh, she's going to be out for a while. Like, I had no idea. Like, I was on the opposite side of the field. Like, I didn't even see what happened, nothing. I just saw, like, immediately stretchers out. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is bad. Um, and I don't know if there was a thought in my head when I went on. Like, I was just like, okay, get your set pieces and go on the field. Like, I was just so frazzled, but I had to do, like, what I had to do. So I think, yeah, I was shaken up, but I knew that I had a job to do, so that's where my head was at.
Yeah, the compartmentalization, a word I can never say, but yet don't
Yeah.
stop trying with athletes is pretty remarkable, and you guys did a pretty remarkable job in that moment. Trinity Rodman, of course, U.S. Women's National Team, and the Washington Spirit with us here on the Team 980. So one of the things that I've also noticed over the years to kind of blend the U.S. National Team world and the Spirit world or the NWSL world is the evolution of how players care about the NWSL. It felt like, 5-6 years ago, and part of this was financial because the US Soccer was paying the national team players to play in the league. Now, obviously, you guys are paid by the actual teams you're playing for, but have you noticed, like, your generation, you, Ash, Sophia Smith, like Jalen Howe, this younger generation, more invested maybe in the league than some, if last year when Kelly or Sonnet was here and they're telling you stories of how it used to be in the league. Like,
Yeah,
do you
literally.
think there's been a shift even amongst maybe some of the older players in how they prioritize league versus national team now?
Uh, yeah, 100%. And it's like so funny. Like Pino or like Kelly will always joke around and be like, "You're welcome." Like, like funny stuff like that. And it's like it's true. Like they did
Yeah.
so much work to get it to where it is now. So like it's like kudos to them and like so grateful and thankful for them. But 100%, I think it's different. And um, I don't know. I think how much is being invested in NWSL like never before. And yeah, and like two with the national team, like Vlatko makes it a very big point on like you're not just gonna cruise in NWSL and then work your butt off in the national team. That doesn't make sense. Like you don't prioritize. Like it's both teams are just as important, and which never was the case. It was kind of like
Right.
national team. You're kind of going back to NWSL to like practice, get better a little bit, and then go back and work your butt off. But I think now it's starting to become more equal, more investments, and I mean, you're seeing that. So
Couple more Spirit questions to wrap things up. Your teammate Sam Staub broke a pretty remarkable record this weekend, 73 straight
yeah.
starts. What has it meant for you? For you, that's your entire career, plus some before you were with the team that she's been starting. Just that consistency of it's such an important position on the field to have Sam there each and every week.
Sam's awesome. Like I love that girl.
Cosign. She's fantastic.
Yeah. um, it's crazy. Like I saw that and I was like she didn't even make a big deal about it either. It's like that's such a big accomplishment and like to be as good as she is too. Like it's not like she just starts and like coasts. Like she locks our team down. Like not only in the back line, like off the field, on the field, in the attacking third. Like she's always got the coaching points, always got the feedback, always making the tackles, always making the through balls. Like she's got it all, and I think she's getting better every single day, and I love playing with her.
Yeah, as someone who got to know Sam when I was working with the club, like she's incredible, and I'm glad you brought up like kind of the way she organizes everything off the field. Like we hear about teams being a family, like she's
Yeah,
at the
literally.
center of the family always.
Yep, 100%. It's great.
So this weekend, obviously, you guys have San Diego, and while Alex Morgan gets a lot of headlines, Naomi Girma should. One of the best center backs in the world. You obviously play with her on the national team, and we'll be trying to crack that back line this weekend. What makes Naomi so challenging?
Yeah, we were just talking about this. I'm so excited to play because when we play San Diego, it's a big game, especially at home. But Nay she's got it all. And I hate saying that because we're playing against her, but you got to give the girl credit. And being as young as she is, and she's she's strong, she's fast, she'll tackle. Her positioning's perfect all the time. She's playing the through ball, she's playing the blind side slip balls the other way. It's crazy. Sometimes I'm going against her and I'm like, damn it. It's just defeating. But yeah, once I play against her, I'll be good. I'll be locked in and I'm taking her down, but love her as a human and she's a great player.
Yeah, and you can appreciate the greatness, and then go battle against it and hopefully defeat it. That's competition.
Yeah.
Trinity Rodman with us here on the Team 980. All right, last two, one serious, one very not. You guys obviously this week against Chicago created a ton of attempts. I think you had 23 shots, which is a lot. Unfortunately, only one goal on the penalty from Hatchie. How do you guys, as you continue to grow in this system under Mark, find that missing piece? What is that missing piece?
Accountability. I think I had 10 crosses myself and completed probably 0. But it's just a final third, and we worked on it today, and we're going to work on it moving forward. But I think we do the hard work to get there. Mm-hmm. We're combining, we're playing slip balls, we're beating defenders 1v1, we're playing the perfect ball, and I think it's just staying locked in at the very last moment. It's the getting in behind the back line when there's a perfect ball against the face of the goal. It's the positioning on crosses. It's finding the right cross. The intentions are right, but I think it's finding the perfect cross for where the defenders are. And I think the cutback was on, but the execution wasn't there. So, gotcha. Yeah, it's just the final pass.
Yep. Soccer's a cruel game like that sometimes. All right, last one. The special that the team is running this weekend for tickets, it's $99 to go to get club seats, and there's apparently a bottomless brunch situation up in the club level. So Trinity Rodman, very important DC question. Are you a brunch girl?
No. Is that No, no. I don't really care for it. That's so bad. I should be promoting it. Yes.
I mean, that doesn't mean other people can't enjoy it.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick, and it will definitely be mimosas, orange juice, vibes at the game. But I am not a brunch person, no.
Okay, all right. I had to ask. I feel like DC is a very brunch town, but there's enough people here. The brunch scene will be just fine without you.
Yeah. You guys will live without me, promise. Can't have mimosa anyway, so.
Yeah, right. You don't turn 21 until March. Was it 20th? I think I saw on Wikipedia. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, everyone can wish you a happy birthday here in a couple of weeks. We appreciate your time here on the show, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much, sir.
This is the Hoffman Show on the Team 980 and the Odyssey app.